Hey everybody, welcome to a new edition of Audio City, and I'm with Jon Cheney. Jon is from Utah, the United States, and from the company called SeekXR. Did I get that right, Jon?
Yeah, SeekXR is the website, SeekXR.com. We just say Seek over here, but yeah, that works great.
Jon, would you like to share something about you as a person first, and a small bit about your career?
Certainly, yeah. Again, thank you so much for having me on here, Kris. It's great to share what we're doing with different audiences around the world. I live in Utah, as Kris mentioned, in the Lehi area, which a lot of people don't really know about. But if you dig in, you'll find that there's some pretty amazing things happening here. It's about 30 minutes south of Salt Lake City, which is the major international airport here, and it's really quite a tech hub. Utah is amazing. In fact, just yesterday, a $1.5 billion acquisition was announced. About 3 weeks ago, there was a huge acquisition by SAP for another tech company here for $8 billion, a company called Qualtrics, and another company called Pluralsight went public this year, Domo, another one. So there's a lot of just big tech companies, things going on here in Utah. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, but have been here for about 20 years since I went to college at BYU. I'm married to a beautiful woman, and I have four kids ranging from ages about 1.5 to 6. So they're all really little, running around, keeping me busy, or keeping my wife busy, I guess. We're both very busy. I'm an entrepreneur and founder of the company, and I'm not sure which one of us works harder. I would venture to say my wife has me beat, because her job really never turns off. I at least get to go home at night and take a little bit of a break and sleep, and she's the one that's after the kids. So, but anyway, yeah, living the entrepreneur life, which is full of many ups and downs that are pretty substantial. But again, yeah, I decided to be on the show today. Seek is not my first company, but definitely the biggest that I've done. We've had some really amazing success, and as Kris said, we're in the augmented reality industry. And we really have honed in on web-based AR, most specifically around e-commerce. Enabling people to view a product on their phone in AR, right from a website without having to download an app and anything like that. So anyway, that's a little bit about Seek, where we are, and a little bit about me.
Just taking you back in time, I remember you told me that you spent some time in the South America and Paraguay.
Yes.
Would you like to touch a bit on that?
Yeah, sure. Living in Paraguay was pretty fun. I was there from age 12 to 15, back in the 90s into the new millennium. And I was there, actually, my dad was asked to be a mission president for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, to supervise the missionaries. There's missions all around the world, and each mission has about 150 to 200 missionaries that a mission president supervises and helps make sure they're taken care of and getting their job done, and helps ensure that they are safe and accounted for, and helping spread the gospel. So I was there for just because my whole family was there. I have 4 younger sisters, and so my mom and dad and all 5 of us kids were down in Paraguay, and so I got to learn Spanish and see another culture for about 3 years, which was pretty amazing. So
would you like to share your experience that you had, your journey as an entrepreneur, where you did something with a treasure hunt, if I remember?
Yeah, the treasure hunt, you got it. Yeah, Treasure Canyon. So we started the Treasure Canyon company about 3.5 years ago, and I was working for a company called English 3. We were doing some English software, and I was kind of bored, to be honest.
Right.
I was selling to universities. I was, and when you sell to a university, yeah, it's cool. They have budgets, but to get them to change the way that a university do things is not impossible. It's just a very lengthy process. And so it would take a year to a year and a half to close some of these deals. And I'm just like, man, I need something faster. So I'm a big outdoor person. I mentioned a minute ago, I love kayaking. I love whitewater kayaking. Like, I'm the one you see in the Red Bull, commercials going off the waterfalls and all that stuff.
Cool.
So I love to do that, and me and my buddy said, hey, let's start a fun company, an adventure company, so that we can be in the outdoors. And so we took $100 and we went up to a local canyon. And we went to the bank, and we traded the $100 for we got 100 gold dollar coins, right? Gold colored dollar coins. So it looked like treasure, right? And we got a cool little glass jar thing that was kind of rusty looking, and we went up to a waterfall and we hid it somewhere nearby that waterfall, and then we jumped on Facebook and we created a page, and we built some clues, and when we said, hey, there's on Saturday morning of this day, we're going to release the final clue of where this $100 was, and so we released some clues during the week, and by the end of the first week we had about 200 followers or so, which was pretty cool. We were excited about that, and people really ate it up. We had about 20 people show up to that first treasure hunt, which was great. For only doing a couple weeks of advertising and really just doing it on Facebook.
Correct.
We were pretty happy with that, and so about a 28-year-old guy with his two boys found the treasure, and we watched him. Actually, I flew a drone up, and I kind of watched and the spying on people as they were looking for the treasure and stuff, and so we did this really cool video with them, and the whole just experience of being able to deliver that kind of joy in a business model was really cool. Now, we didn't really have a business model yet. All we had done was give away $100. So we then said, hey, let's do it again. Let's do $200, and then we did $300, and then we said, hey, let's see if we can charge people for this, right? And so that they pay like $5 or something to get access to the clues, and they have a chance to go win $500, right? And so seems like a pretty decent idea. So we started doing that. We worked our way up to where we were actually the biggest hunt we did was a $10,000 hunt. So we put $10,000 in a treasure chest and buried it up in a canyon, and had lots of sponsors. We worked with Gatorade and Ultra and all those things, and that actually was kind of, I call that the beginning of this company, Seek, because we wanted to scale, and it was hard because we were literally walking up into the canyon with treasure chests, and we didn't, that's not very scalable. So we said, hey, let's make a treasure hunting app, and then the Pokemon Go came out shortly thereafter. Said, hey, let's use augmented reality to make it happen. So that's how we got into the augmented reality business. But it all came from this treasure business that we started. Had a great time with.
If I must say, from what I hear, it's quite an incredible journey to Seek. If you might like to explain to the audience really what, in layman term, would Seek mean to the marketing or the advertising world or the publication world?
So how is Seek applicable to those? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly, yeah. How would it be applicable to marketeers or advertisers or digital publishers?
Yeah, so it's been a big barrier with augmented reality up until we released our latest product. And that barrier is an app, right? Apps create friction with a customer. If you're going to a website, and you're shopping for, say, a kitchen table online, or maybe a car, you're shopping online, you want to be able to see what it looks like. Up to now, without augmented reality, you can do a picture, you can do a video, and you can get a decent idea of kind of what it looks like.
Yeah.
But using augmented reality takes it to the next level. For those of you that aren't familiar with augmented reality, this is where you hold up a phone or a screen or something with a camera that allows you to then place the object in your world, in your space, and then actually see it. You can walk around it, and it's pretty amazing. Go to SeekXR.com, and you can see some demo videos and things like that of it. But again, for the first couple years in Seek, we were doing everything inside of an app, and we were working with some good companies. We had customers like Samsung and Universal Pictures and big brands that wanted to be playing in that space. They knew augmented reality was a significant thing, and so they invested in us and trusted us to do some of their tests. So we made that happen, but now we can do that on the web without an app, right? So you could go directly to that furniture website, or one of our customers is Volvo, right? So you can go right to these websites, click on a link, and it just opens up right on your phone, right? And that object can create space without having to download any sort of plugin or app or anything like that. Pretty amazing. And so, the use case is pretty obvious for marketers of physical products, right?
Right.
If you're something like Netflix, augmented reality isn't really going to help you a lot. But if you're selling a chair or a table or a car or an appliance, appliance or a TV or anything that you would want to see, or even a shoe, even clothes, right? You could see that. What does it look like in my space, or maybe even on me before I buy it?
Right.
So we get that directly integrated with the web. There's also other use cases around publications. Like, for example, take like the Wall Street Journal or something, or some news article. You could say, hey, look at this graph in AR, or check out a diagram or a prototype of this, and you can view it in AR. And so there's a lot of ways you can really make that happen. We also work with promotional products, right? So hey, you're going to order 1,000 mugs or 1,000 T-shirts, from our company with your logo on it. If you want to see what it looks like beforehand, then yeah, hey, use our web AR tech to click on this, and you can preview it before you even order it. So there's really a lot of applications for it. Even in an entertainment space, Pokemon did it, right? They said, hey, see a Pokemon right in front of you, and they were doing it in an app. We can do it outside of an app, which is great. But yeah, you could have Spider-Man or Iron Man or anybody pop up right in front of you just from a link. Yeah, it's actually a JavaScript handle that just sits on the website, right? So you can have directly on your website, and it's gonna refer, the link itself is gonna refer to, it's gonna pull up the JavaScript viewer, the Seek viewer, and then it's gonna refer back to a link that we are storing, in our internal, the backend system. And again, and when you pull it up, you're going to pull up a 3D model first, and you're going to see a background. But then you click on AR, and then it's going to actually pull up your camera and put it right in your room. IKEA is a big furniture brand. They spent millions and millions of dollars creating an app and creating 3D models of all of their products. But the problem is only about 10% of their total traffic goes to their app. 90% of their traffic is happening right on IKEA.com. So that doesn't make sense, right? You're spending millions of dollars to just hit a little tiny fraction. Yeah. So we can say, hey, get rid of the app or keep the app. Maybe your raving fans are going to use the app. But most people just want to go to the website. And now with our technology, we can come right in and say, hey, you can do this on your website now, right? And you can get that full other 90%, or really the 100%, right? Because now you get 10% in your app and you're 90% covered by us on the website, and now everybody can do that. And the cool thing is, I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but think about it. If you're looking at a 3D object in your space, like let's say a kitchen table, right? You want to buy a kitchen table. You're on the website. You look at a picture, and you're like, yeah, that looks nice. I wonder how it will fit in my house.
Exactly.
So you could just order it and say, hey, you could measure it. Say, oh, look, it looks like it's 300 centimeters or whatever, right? But you can figure that out by just using a ruler or a tape measure, or you can click on an AR link and actually look at it in your house right there and see, do the colors match? Does this fit well? Is it going to work well under where the light is? Yeah. Are we going to be able to walk past it around the edge? Literally, you can see all of those things in AR. And so when you increase the consumer's confidence by giving them that view, then it increases conversion substantially. We've seen brands that are doing as high as 80% increased conversion when they use AR. The average is about 30%, but still 30% increased conversion is crazy. Yeah. Right. And so being able to increase conversion like that, and then you don't have any surprises when it shows up, because you're like, hey, I knew what it looked like, right? So that's going to also affect the back end of returns, right? It's going to reduce the number of returns. So there's a very direct, measurable ROI business that uses AR. We do it in a way that's way more inexpensive than having to do an app, because with an app, you have to develop all the technology for your app, and then you have to keep that app up to date, and you have to do an iOS and an Android app. And then what happens when Apple AR glasses come out and new AR devices come out? Now you're going to have to build a new app, right? So no, just put it on your website. It's our adaptive technology that looks at the platform and figure it out and increase that conversion and that customer experience. It's a really, really easy product to sell.
Is there something that you would like to share with viewers about Seek, or about your experiences in life, or something that you might want to talk or share with wannabe entrepreneurs? I'm not sure if there is anything that you would like to share on the show before we sign off on the show per se.
Sure. No, you know what? I'd be happy to. And I love talking about the entrepreneurial journey I've had. A lot of people look at entrepreneurs and they say, man, just overnight he's making millions of dollars, right? And it's not overnight. Yeah. It happens all night long, every night for years. Yeah. and it's tough, right? There are more downs than there are ups, but eventually you start having more ups than there are downs. And that's when you know you've got it right. As I mentioned, we started out as an app-based company, right? And now just said, see you later, right? Now, there was a lot of, technological hurdles that we had to overcome to make that happen. And we have a great tech team that was able to figure these things out. But as soon as we started saying web-based AR right on your website, we literally cannot keep up with the contracts.
Wow.
They are coming so fast. Everybody wants it. You show it to them, they like it, they're in. And so once you find it, it gets easier. But there's a lot of hard things in there. We've raised about $2 million so far. And we went the angel route. Instead of going with a VC, we've raised about $2 million from about 16 individuals, mostly here in the area, some of them out of state, but all connected to the same network. And dealing with those investors, and especially going through what I would say are two really, significant pivots in our business model. Right? They say, hey, well, I gave you $100,000 to do this. Why are you changing and doing this now? Right? That's just one little example of something, right? But there's so many issues that you have to deal with, especially as the CEO, because the CEO is responsible for everything: the investor relations, the sales, the product development, the vision. You're going to hire other people and get other people on the team to help you through it, and it's impossible to do it on your own. You have to have a good team, but there's a lot of stress. And one thing that probably isn't talked about enough is the mental strain that is put on an entrepreneur. When you're trying to do something and you take $2 million from other people to do it, if you fail, there's always that what if I fail right out there, and I have 20 employees, what's going to happen to all their family, right? So there's just a lot of pressure that's on you, and it can really take a toll mentally. And well, I would just say, to any entrepreneurs out there, don't try to face that piece alone, right? Make sure if you have a co-founder, which you should, be open with each other about it. Talk through it, work through it. You have a wife, a partner, or friends, anybody. Have people that you can talk to and just say, man, I am scared. I don't know what I'm going to do. We have 2 weeks to find money, or our company shuts down, or we just landed a $200,000 contract, which is great, but I don't know how we're going to be able to deliver on it. Talk through those. Don't just sit there and let them stew internally. Having a good support group around you for whatever problem it is, right? Or even good things, like I said, even a big contract can be stressful and hard with if you've never done it before. And so that's probably the best advice I can give. Make sure you recognize that the failures are part of this, and the failure is not actually failure in the same sense of the word that most people attach to it. A failure is learning how not to do something. Right?
Very interesting.
You learn and you learn and you learn and you learn, and finally you figure out how to do it. And people start paying you. And out of business, right? But again, that process is very painful and can cause a lot of doubt. And so make sure you have the right people around you to make it happen. So
awesome. Well, Jon, it was really a lot of wisdom, and I'm sure that wisdom has just come out of very hard experiences, and some also tough times, and of course, really some pleasant ones. I wish you all the best with Seek. I do look forward to later sometime in a few years checking back on you again and seeing how Seek is doing. But for today, thank you for your time, and in spite of all your busy schedule and your appointments that you have, that you were able to give me this time, or give us this time to do this interview. We are very thankful. And we also thank you for sharing the message with young or wannabe entrepreneurs, or entrepreneurs who are going through this struggle, which is an ongoing struggle for any entrepreneur. Ladies and gentlemen, you were listening to Jon Cheney, the CEO and founder of Seek. With that, want to end this particular show. I wish all of you have great days ahead and a great week. Thank you, and see you in the next edition of our next chapter of Audio City. Have a good day.